Hey everyone, it's Minty, and this is the 5th installment of the Drawing Your OCs series. I put out a community post to remind you guys to send in your characters, but it was kind of late notice, so I'm sorry if you didn't get a chance. But I don't mind it if you send in your characters at any time so that I can use them in the future. That's absolutely fine, and you can look in the description to find out how to do that if you don't already know. All that aside, let's get into the drawing, which as you can see is digital. I had a bunch of homework, surprisingly art homework, to do this weekend, so I didn't really have that much time to film a video, so I decided, you know what, my ring light's broken anyway, let's just do it digital and make it a bit easier to film and post. For the first character, I decided to go with the one that's actually featured on the thumbnail, so you probably already know what the end result looks like, but I'm gonna explain everything anyway. I chose this one because it just spoke to me. It's very simple but different at the same time, because this girl is not a normal girl, she's an alien, and she's got green skin and purple hair, which I thought was a really cool combination. The person who created this character also sent me a little paragraph to explain who this character is. So her name is Lizzie Star, and she is an alien, brackets not a zombie, that lives on a different planet. She is around 15 years old and is assigned to go to Earth and spy on the people there, which is why she's wearing regular clothes. While she's on Earth, she realizes these people aren't that bad, and yeah, they haven't really finished the story, but that gives you an idea of what this character's life is like. I think it's a cool concept, and I like how the only difference between her and humans is just the colors, which is something that I find so fun. So yeah, I was really excited for the coloring, and when I got to that part, I really enjoyed it. But first, we have the sketch, which is pretty much done here. And I was so surprised that it turned out well, because usually I will sketch out traditionally and then transfer it to digital. I just find it much more natural to sketch on paper because that's what I'm used to, but this time I used a reference, so that's probably the main reason for this turning out decently. It's not even an adventurous pose or anything, it's just the hand coming up to the face, but it adds a little bit of interest and is better than what I normally do, you know, the good old hands behind the back kind of thing. I also decided to sketch in purple just so that we already have some of the colour set in early on in the drawing. While I was drawing, I had the reference up just so that I wouldn't forget anything, and I almost forgot the bangs, which I did end up doing right, I think. They were quite short. Usually I go for a longer style of bangs, which are going kind of over the eyebrows, almost at the eyes. But yeah, I stuck to the design and I did the short bangs, and I actually really love how they look, and I might try doing it more in the future in my own drawings. And with that, our base for the line art is pretty much done. At first I kept it all purple, but eventually I switched up some of the colours in the line art a little bit just to make it a bit softer. And yeah, I started colouring with the base colours, and I used a lighter version of all the colours and a little bit brighter than what was in the reference, because that's the kind of vibe that I like my drawings to have. But yeah, I did shade later on. Also, in the photo that I got sent, there were 2 outfits that she had drawn. I guess she changes her outfit every day, unlike characters who kind of have their signature outfit. But the common theme between them was this colour of the shirt. I don't know what colour it is, but if I was using markers, I would call it lipstick natural. I love that colour, but yeah, I chose that for the shirt, and I went with the blue jeans. There was also one of the drawings on the page that had these little black things on, but because it's not too close up in the image, I couldn't really tell what they were. I think they might be stars or little like scratches, just like imperfections. I wasn't really sure, so I decided just to leave them out because I didn't want to make them into something that they weren't supposed to be. I ended up going with a slight turquoise tint to the green skin because I remember in their description when they said brackets not a zombie, I guess they had people be confused with their character and think it was a zombie, so I just added that little bit of brightness and also some white freckles to add this out of this world kind of quality, just to show that it's not a zombie. And yeah, she doesn't look like a zombie at all, I don't think. It's pretty obvious that she's an alien, but yeah, I just wanted to add some vibrancy to that, and I also made the hair very, very shiny because that's just something I love to do. But yeah, I thought it would work extremely well in this situation, just to make her look like she really is from another planet. After the hair, all I had left to do was shade the top and the jeans, which was kind of boring to do. I mean, they're just flat colours. But yeah, I think that it turned out well, and the basicness of the outfit really like highlights how cool the actual character looks, like her eyes and everything. I just think it's really interesting. And yeah, after that I added a background because the white was just not doing it for me, so I added some simple little spirally things, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, now on to the next character. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name of this character, but spelled like this, and I think it is Vega Bay. I don't know, but it sounds cool to me. I'm just gonna give you a quick backstory of this character and the kind of world that she lives in. So it's far off in the future and in this kind of dystopian world, which is something you guys know I love because quite a few of my OCs are set in that kind of time period. The city is ruled over by a monarchy, which apparently is a bad one, and they're kind of plotting to take it down and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's also 3 classes, upper, middle, and lower class, and I guess that's a pretty important aspect of the story as they all have uniforms, which I think is pretty interesting. And to represent their class, they have triangles. So upper class has 1 triangle, middle class has 2, and lower has 3. So Vega is in middle class because she has these 2 triangles on her left shoulder. I actually posed her in a way that you can't even see the front of her outfit, which is a bit dumb of me. I don't know why I did that. I think I was just having some trouble with the pose, and yeah, that's what I went with. But you can't see the 2 triangles anymore that are supposed to be on the front. So what I did later on was I added 2 triangles on her sleeve so that you can see them on the side. I know that's not part of the original drawing, but I knew I had to include the triangles in some way. So yeah, that's just what I went with. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I struggled so much with the sketch on this one. I actually ended up rubbing out my whole entire first try. So yeah, if you go back a little bit in the video, you'll see the first version, which was it wasn't the best. I mean, it was still pretty similar actually, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of it and I didn't know what was wrong with it, so I just scrapped it and started again. I think I might have used a face reference on this one just because I was struggling so much. It still looks a tiny bit off, but it's too late now to fix it, and I don't think it's that bad anyway. And before you get all excited, no, there's not going to be another character in this video, unfortunately. Usually I tend to do 3 or 4, but that's when I'm doing it traditionally, and with digital, I'm a lot slower just in general. I don't know why, it just takes me a lot longer to complete a drawing, but I love the amount of effort I put into these, so hopefully you guys don't mind too much. But yeah, this is the last one I'm doing in this video, so yeah, I only did 2, but I hope you like them anyway. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of running out of things to say about this drawing. I mean, the whole colouring process is kind of the same as the last one was, so I'm just gonna talk to you about anything. So in school, we recently got released these themes for our art exams, and everyone across like the whole exam board has the same choice of themes, and the one that I chose is isolation, and I'm actually really stuck with what to paint or draw for this. I can't do cartoony style things, unfortunately, so yeah, everything has to be kind of like realistic, or at least semi-realistic, and I have no ideas of what to do. I mean, I thought isolation would be an easy theme because, you know, I can draw loneliness and like the emotional isolation of people, but at the same time my teacher said she would like me to try some things other than portraiture, so I'm kind of lost. I don't really know what to do. For my first project, I've just drawn a little image of someone standing in the street by themselves, but it's really not that interesting. So guys, if you had the theme of isolation, what would you do? Because I am stuck. And that's not even the hardest part of art at school at the moment, because I am already 2 projects behind in the first week. I don't know how they're expecting us to do so much drawing and painting, but yeah, I have 2 more due next week, and then I think I have up until March-ish to produce like a bunch more pieces. So yeah, if I don't upload or anything, you can assume that I'm busy working on my art outside of YouTube, because that stuff is difficult, and also it takes a lot longer than what I usually do. Just painting and drawing in general for school is so much more effort because they also force you to do really large pieces, and I really don't like doing that because I'm used to working in a sketchbook and that's it. So yeah, it's pretty hard and it takes a long time, so if I disappear, you know why. Quick little rant there, and we're pretty much at the end. Again, I added a background and I love the finished product. I hope that the person who sent this to me likes it too. Bye everyone!